2, 1.
Hi, my name is Phantom. Today I'm probably be talking about a couple of things dealing with different and various kinds of martial arts. Usually, one place most people go to see martial arts fights, usually on television shows like Spike, or to see tournaments, things like UFC, Pride, other things like that. One of the most common fights that are seen are usually on various websites known as YouTube, sometimes MySpace, and other times other infamous websites. So going back to this, a lot of the fights that you see on YouTube usually are choreographed or practiced or usually demonstrations. One of the first I say martial arts videos I saw on YouTube were usually videos from major pictures like Kiss of the Dragon or Project A, Once Upon a Time in Tokyo, Iron Monkey, things like that. Usually a lot of movie snippets. And the thing with YouTube is YouTube has the ability to usually to expand on things that are usually seen, or well, YouTube is a fairly growing website because on YouTube you can post about anything you want, and and one way I think most martial artists or masters of martial arts tend to display their movies is to post them on YouTube. You'll see demonstrations, basic hand-to-hand combat, and things like that. But the thing about those is that they can be really deceiving. One, because it's not real, or it's mostly practice, or two, it's because one of the fighters' lack of experience or lack of determination. And other times, people are just on there to mess around. So one of the main snippets that I've seen, well, not snippets, but videos that I've seen, is one that's between Aikido and Jiu-Jitsu. Aikido is a Japanese grappling type of martial art, where Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a Brazilian grappling martial art. Personally, I'm a yellow belt in karate, and I've been studying Jiu-Jitsu for the past 1 or 2 years, so I'm fairly, well-rounded on what goes on around in BJJ ring, and sparred a bit in karate. But it was a fairly disturbing, not disturbing, but upsetting. It was all told a demonstration. The way it's all set up is you have one guy doing Aikido, and you'll have this guy just in a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu outfit, wearing a black belt, which is very uncommon. And the guy in Jiu-Jitsu is practically getting tossed around. Aikido, what they mostly do in Aikido is they search for a point, or they try to neutralize their opponent. Jiu-Jitsu is a little bit different in the fact that it's not about neutralizing your opponent, whereas once he gets to the ground, you're practically trying to destroy your opponent. Now, when it comes to Jiu-Jitsu in ground fighting, once you're on the ground, your main objective is to bring your opponent down and keep them down with you. And I think Aikido is more where taking to your opponent to the ground and finishing them with a blow, or just like practically neutralizing them, like I said before. For any of those that do Aikido, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know I'm not exactly skilled in as many martial arts as I know. One thing that I think is a little bit upsetting is that people say that martial arts is not effective in a street fight. Actually, martial arts is very effective. Usually, the difference between street fighting and martial arts fighting is that street fighting, there's no technique. It's mostly swinging of the arms, and it's pretty much who's the faster puncher. Now, what martial arts does is it disciplines you, it builds you up, and it also improves your reflexes and your instinct. But the reason why they say a lot of martial artists lose in street fights is because when it comes to martial arts, you're practically waiting for your opponent to make a move, and when your opponent makes multiple moves that you're not familiar with, it's a little bit difficult, especially for starting or novice fighters. I haven't really been in a street fight, but you know, when I first went into the ring, well, not the ring, but when I first went into karate and I sparred, honestly, I was a little bit afraid because, you know, all these guys were at higher levels than I was, so there was that intimidation. But but you don't know that in the street. So, but you know, it was interesting, you know, because what I tried to do is I just went all out, and that wasn't exactly the best thing to do, especially when you're a little bit intimidated, because the chances are you are going to make a mistake, or you're going to leave yourself wide open. Now, after a while, when I went up in rank in karate, I wasn't able to attend anymore, and that's when a friend of the family that did jiu-jitsu had actually he recommended it, and you know, I thought it's pretty cool. I wasn't exactly too familiar on the subject, and when I first went in, you know, I was seasoned yellow belt in karate. You know, kicks, punches were, you know, nothing to me, and honestly, I got my ass whooped. First time I went in, I couldn't do punches and kicks, which kind of discouraged me, but I was like, okay. So I was just thinking of grinding in elbows, you know, grinding fists, not so much as strikes. But what happened was I was taken down to the ground and practically choked out. I was submitted a couple of times. But after a while, when I got to know jiu-jitsu, know the art, you know, I learned how to get around obstacles like that. And you see that a lot in competitions like UFC or Pride. You know, when they get taken down to the ground, they're not worried about being on the ground. When they're on the ground, it's pretty much anyone's fight. So usually your main objective is to get out. And the thing that's good about UFC and Pride is that instead of standing there and having to counter your opponent for every submit they make, is you can strike and you can kick them away, you can punch them away. Sometimes you can counter around, you know, vice versa. But it's fairly interesting. I agree with most people on YouTube saying that no martial art is better than the other, because that's completely true. It all depends on the fighter. But a lot of the techniques that I've seen are a little bit distorted. Like I said before, Aikido, it's taking down your opponent, neutralizing them, or Jiu-Jitsu is putting in a submission, a chokehold, and things like that. Karate and Taekwondo I've seen are mostly point-based martial arts.
I'm not joking, dude.
And but yeah.
Hey, what you doing, nigga?
So but that's practically all the time I have for today. So I'll talk to you later.
Goddamn.